think we did that one.
No, 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 no. 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 No, 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 no. Bloop, bloop, bloop.
All right.
Guys, welcome to Real Awkward.
Welcome. And now you know why it's called Real Awkward. That's
We're the most awkwardest folks in the world. So, my name's Andy.
I'm Amanda.
I am Ashley.
Guys, if this is the first time that you've clicked on an episode, welcome, because it's a very special episode for us. If you guys have checked out our intro at all on any of these platforms, you will know we are three former Blockbuster employees, and we used to work and run and manage these stores. And guys, something incredible just dropped recently. Netflix. Out of anybody, the irony here is incredible. Netflix, who literally killed Blockbuster, is about to make a television show called Blockbuster. And it is about the final days of Blockbuster and a comedy series. Guys, if we were going to write this show, what type of stuff do we have to put in it?
I had heard that a Netflix show was going to be, or I had heard that a Blockbuster show was going to be made. And I was like, this is going to be triggering. Like,
that's what I'm like,
yeah,
I'm going to binge this because I'm going to
I'm going to
see how
fact check
accurate this is.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking is, so if you guys don't know, you can go to our Blockbuster episode. It's the secrets of Blockbuster. We talk about like the behind the scenes and the stuff that happened there. But this show literally has to dive deep into what the culture of Blockbuster was back then. They've got to go through the late fees. And obviously this is the tail end of Blockbuster when they're going downhill, which is pretty much right when we were all there, right? We were like a couple years before we were there. So it's going to hit home to us.
I'm curious if they will really dig into it or if it's just going to be like a comedy show about working at a video store.
It could. It could. I mean, yeah.
Which, if it's just a comedy show, I hope that it was written by people who used to work at a video store. Because if it's just almost like, did you ever see Superstore? Have you seen Superstore?
Yeah. Yep.
If it's kind of like Superstore where it's just like situational humor, it would be interesting. Mm-hmm. But if it's written by people who really used to work at a video store, I feel like the jokes will be so specific that like it's going to be hilarious to us.
Oh, I can only imagine we're going to roll on some of those jokes. But so, with Superstore though, it's almost like intergeneric big box store, right? It could have been a Best Buy, it could have been a Costco, which it's actually filmed at a Costco, I think, right?
It's supposed to be Walmart.
Oh,
like, it's
Walmart.
Like Walmart.
Okay. So I mean, like insert big box store, but like the video chains and like the big video chains, Blockbuster was the only one. So there's like some specific stuff.
So this
about Blockbuster.
This show comes out November 3rd.
Okay.
It is set in the last Blockbuster video, so the one in Bend, Oregon.
Oh.
See, I still want to go.
So it says it explores what and who it takes for a small business to succeed.
Okay. So is it about current Blockbuster, them trying to survive right now?
Yeah.
Oh, see, that might be even more interesting. Not to mention this.
Wait. So are you looking at the new Netflix show, or are you looking at the Netflix documentary, The Last Blockbuster?
I think you're looking at The Last Blockbuster.
No, I am not.
Oh, okay. She's on it.
It's an upcoming American workplace comedy television series based upon the Blockbuster brand. Series is set in the last Blockbuster video. Comes out November 3rd, 2022.
Oh, damn. Okay, Amanda. So this is that one, which is funny because it does feel like it was the documentary, but that's two separate things. So if you guys are not following us, there was a documentary made about the last Blockbuster in Bend, Oregon, and actually went through the owner and how they like reached back out to the corporations that made the original signs, and like they have everything still produced for marketing the exact same way Blockbuster used to be. but the new show, which I find more interesting because it's produced by Netflix, where Blockbuster had an opportunity to buy Netflix for something absurd.
It was like $2 million.
Yeah, it was like some bullshit price, which right now anybody could go get a loan for. And they were like, no one's ever going to want, to your home or streaming services. Which, who has the last laugh?
They basically turned down the offer to buy Netflix because Netflix's thing from the beginning was, we want to stream movies. We want to figure out this technology. Mm-hmm. And sending DVDs to your door is just a stepping stone for us.
Right.
And Blockbuster had an opportunity to buy Netflix for $2 million, and they passed on it, saying that the technology was going nowhere.
Oh, it's so ridiculous. Because right now, Blockbuster would now be the name on Netflix. I mean, there's not to say that the executive board of Blockbuster wouldn't have like shit the bed and like just threw it down.
Honestly, they were making so many bad decisions.
Yeah.
Like, they made so many bad decisions towards the end in the last few years that even if they had taken a risk and partnered with Netflix instead of Circuit City,
right,
they would have tanked Netflix too.
I can't believe they were going to buy Circuit City because they wanted to compete with Best Buy. That's what they were trying to turn themselves into in their last couple years there too. And then they brought in the guy from 7-Eleven to market, which is why we had magazines and sunglasses.
Put everybody in blue polo shirts?
I guess so. And it would have been like blues and khakis versus blues and khakis. It's like an Anchorman where all the Anchormen like come and fight in a back alley. Everybody that's in blues and khakis. So my question for you guys, though, it is a situational comedy based in the video store. What type of jokes are you guys going to like? What would you write or what would you suggest? Like, oh, do this. This was really funny when this happened. I personally think stuff like the late fee. Someone coming in and being pissed about a late fee. It's got to happen multiple times in the series. I can't imagine there wouldn't be tons of jokes written about it.
I mean, is that funny?
It's funny when it's absurd. Like if they're mad about 35 cents or something or $1.
But is that funny in like a comedy series?
Depends on how they deliver it.
I feel like it's just going to be like...
Ash is not buying that that's funny.
I feel like it's literally going to be like the manager is like super into it.
Yeah, that's like, how we were.
And they're like leading all of these employees who are making like minimum wage. And they're just like, I don't care. I just want to check people out. I really hope somebody carries a stack of 20 movies.
Oh, hell yeah.
I mean, if they don't have people with like a huge stack of movies carrying them around the perimeter of the store, then you can tell that nobody who worked there wrote that script.
Right.
Like, see, it's certain things like checking the Dropbox and like being asked by customers like who heard the Dropbox just have movies dumped in it. Oh, is the new movie in there?
Oh, yeah. You could like, totally write a scene where the guy on the other end of the store stops as if he has like bat level hearing sonar and he's like, oh, was that the film I've been waiting for?
Sorry, can you check the Dropbox?
And it runs up.
Yeah, and he's just kind of like, something just came in.
Can you check?
Sir, that's just Barbie again,
Yeah, sir, it's just movies, the SpongeBob DVD.
I think that would be funny to go over and over again with it.
I think it'd be funny if somebody came in and stole a bunch of movies and you had to chase him down the street.
I was going to say, there's got to be theft. There's got to be something about theft that happens.
Well, I think it would be similar to like The Office or like, it's going to have to be like that kind of short format where like there's the episode is a course of a day, but like there's like jumps in time throughout the day where it's like, okay, we're opening the store, got to do blah, blah, blah. And then it's like a couple hours later, here's a snippet of something funny that happens.
Okay, I'm off to do the wall.
Yeah. So, see, that's the thing is I'm curious, like, what Blockbuster isms they're going to have.
Yeah. Because, I mean, if it was towards the final days, it was 2-day rentals, 5-day rentals. I don't remember. 7-day rentals.
I would love if they still had dot matrix printers.
Where it takes half an hour to print a Blockbuster card.
Well, and then that's going to be the tell too. Is like, what system is the computer running to check people out?
Is it still DOS?
Oh, 100% DOS with like magnetic tapes to store all of our data. Mm-hmm.
And if it isn't DOS, then it's a lie.
Right?
Yeah, you can't have like. Even if they jump up and they're like, it's Windows 97, it's like, get out of here. No, it's not.
Yeah.
No, it is not.
No, dude, those computers took up half the freaking desk.
Well, I saw some pictures from the new series, and their polos look legit. Their name badges look legit.
Yeah, I saw a picture.
The windows and everything look legit. So if it is set in Bend, Oregon, it makes sense that they would have everything that's very like on point to the era of Blockbuster. Because now Blockbuster's been shut down for how long?
One of our followers sent us some
10
pictures
years?
I saw in one of our messages. So I did see those polos, and they looked right. They looked correct.
Yeah.
So thank you. The follower's name is their name, so I don't know if they want their name shouted out, but you know who you are. Thank you for sending us that information.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm not going to say the last name, but I'll say thank you to Ulysses for talking about Blockbuster, because this had came up and I had already seen some of this stuff, but kind of jolted the thought process that this would be a fun episode to discuss. Because being a Blockbuster store manager, guys, there's so many things and stories we went through, and I know we've already talked about it on a previous podcast for literally the behind the scenes stuff, but like the movies would roll in these like boxes. Like there'd be like 3 or 4 boxes of new release films, and you'd open it up, it'd have this smell to it, right? Because it's like straight from the factory. If you guys remember, all the cases were like slippery because they hadn't had like wear yet, so like they wouldn't even like stay on each other sometimes, and then they
weren't dirty yet.
Yeah. And then I don't remember, did they all come locked already, or did we have to lock every single one of them with those yellow locks?
You had to lock them.
Right. So we had to grab every single lock, add locks to it, and then obviously keep locks too, right?
Yeah.
Are you sure that they didn't come locked? We had to lock them all? I thought they came locked, because that's how we got new locks.
Maybe you're right. Maybe new ones came locked.
Yeah,
I'm
I think
thinking
they
of like
came
when they were returned.
Oh, okay. So all of this stuff would come in these giant boxes. You know that you'd get a drop, and it was like on normally Mondays or something like that, or Sundays. We'd have it held because we had to release it on Tuesday. So we would get this big box, and then we'd open it up, and we'd be stoked to see what we could find in it. And every single time, it was like 200 of the famous movie, and then the ones we wanted to see was only like 3 or 4 copies.
If you got lucky, there was 3 or 4.
Yeah, if there was 3 or 4. So like, I don't know if they're going to talk about like inventory and like how that works, like getting new releases. I don't know if they're going to talk about like when we sold movies, like when it was like 2 for $20 and 4 for $20. And like people staying and picking out the best films that they could to like build that.
I would be surprised if they really delved into the nitty gritty. I think it's going to be like basically like a workplace comedy, and they work in a video rental store.
Right. So so maybe Blockbuster will just be a little bit of like the background setting, and then it'll just be like Jonathan and Cassie love each other and they're going on dates outside of Blockbuster.
Those are my cousins' names.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was an accident. But I don't feel like, I would like to say The Office and the Parks and Rec and like that format is still sought after and needed, but I think that it's kind of over. So I'm kind of curious if they would do something different, because right now people want to see the show because they want to remember Blockbuster, not because they care about these characters.
It's a Netflix show. There's 8 episodes, not 20.
Right. That's
so you're going to get your
that's true.
8 hours of laughs, and then you're done.
Right.
And it probably won't have a second season. I mean, how much content can you have?
Not a lot.
Right?
Well, and Netflix likes to cancel shows after a season, but I did see that it was... Melissa Fumero from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and then it was, I think his name's Randall Park, and he is like, he's in a bunch of Marvel movies, and he's been around a lot lately. So
well, Randall Park is the manager, so I can imagine he's the one who's like, get everyone hyped up, like
100%.
Yeah, like get your reward bundles in, guys. Like
get your $5 candy bundles.
Yes, that's the stuff that I'm hoping to see, is like not so much like the ins and outs of working in a video store. I want to see Blockbuster things.
Yeah.
Like 2 for $20 and the $5 candy bundle. And did you want to renew your reward subscription? Or like
yeah.
I want
this
that
is true.
stuff.
Do you guys think that there will be a callback to certain times, or is it supposed to be modern? Is it like back in the final days of Blockbuster, or is it supposed to be like Blockbuster now at Bend, Oregon?
That's what I think. I looked it up, and it basically just said that what Ashley said. It's supposed to talk about what they go through to keep a small business running.
See, I guess that would.
So how do you keep rentals relevant?
Yeah, how you don't know. Like, you obviously have to have a town where nobody has streaming.
I wonder if it's going
Right?
to dive into like the Bend, Oregon Blockbuster is now like a destination. And I think especially with this Netflix show coming out, they're going to be an even bigger destination.
Oh, this will be huge.
So I wonder how much that will be a part of it. Is like there was that story I told you where you guys can like literally pay to stay at the Blockbuster overnight.
Right.
Like they set up a bed where you could literally like sleep at the Blockbuster. Like they sell merchandise. Like they
I want a
famous
Blockbuster
as the
t-shirt.
last Blockbuster. So how much of that is going to be involved in this? How to keep your business alive?
Yeah, so I mean, I
That's
guess
a big part of it.
So that's the two tough spots though, because like I want to see situational Blockbuster from 2008, not necessarily modern Blockbuster keeping a business alive. So I'm kind of like, I don't know what I'm going to get. I don't know if I'm going to get nods to it or if it's going to feel like Amanda said, hey, you're watching Parks and Rec, but in a Blockbuster setting.
I think the fact that the pictures show like they're in blue polo shirts, they have got the name tag, there's
Right.
the Blockbuster sign, like the signs say the end of late fees. Like
Right.
I feel like there's some nostalgia to it.
Yeah, I agree.
Because the end of late fees was not the end of late fees.
No, in fact, that was a bad deal. Amanda, tell everybody what the end of late fees really meant.
Well, basically the end of late fees was like false advertising. So technically Blockbuster was like, fine, you bitch and moan about late fees, we're going to get rid of them. So you had like a grace period, right? So like, let's say you had a 2-day movie rental. Well, now you had like 5 or 7 day grace period.
Yeah.
Where as long as you brought the movie back within that handful of days, you got no fees associated with your account. But if you kept it past those days, the full amount of that movie or video game was charged to your account.
Yeah, you're mad
And-
about 99 cents. Now you're mad about $25.
Oh, they were so mad.
Oh, and it was never like $9.99 for the movie. It was like $25.
It was full price.
It was every
Yeah.
time.
And,
every time.
Heaven forbid it be a Blu-ray, because back in the day, Blu-rays were $60.
Oh,
and-
Jesus. I forgot how expensive they were back then.
Yeah, they weren't
They were as much as the
$20
video
like they are
games.
now.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah, back in the day, Blu-rays were $60. And
Jesus.
so if you brought your movie or game back within like 30 days or something like that, you got the money refunded to you, but all you had to pay was like a $3 or $5 restocking fee.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
funny because that's how much the late fee would have been on the restocking
Yes.
fee.
It's just giving
Yes.
people like a 39-day rental.
yeah.
And then if you brought it back after 30 or 45 days, like it's an extended period of time.
Yeah.
If you brought it back after that, thank you for returning it. This is yours now.
Right.
And people would get pissed, especially with the video games,
Yep.
because they were $60, $70.
Yep. And you had to put a credit card on file.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Going forward, you had to put a credit card on file, and people would just be like, yeah, I never gave you permission to charge my card, and just like screaming in your face. But like,
Oh, yeah.
that's the deal, dude. Welcome
I-
to the fine print, man. That
Well,
contract.
I remember this kid wanted to come in one day. This kid wanted to rent a video game, and I was like, "Well, we need a debit or credit card on file so I can rent you the game." And he goes, "Well, I don't want to. I don't have one. I don't want to do that." And I was like, "Okay, well, I need a debit card so I can rent you the game. I have to do it." And he goes, I remember he goes, "This is why you guys are losing out to Redbox or Netflix."
so
And
true, though, because we did.
I just remember being like, okay, but then in my mind I was like, bitch, you need a debit card to rent for Redbox.
Yeah,
You
Redbox
paying
also
cash?
charged you.
You paying cash for your Redbox?
It's like a guy behind in a red box.
Yeah, I just
Slip
like,
me
I
a
remember
20, son, and I'll
afterwards.
give you this movie.
I remember afterwards thinking like, what the hell was that? Like,
Michael Clayton.
but no, I think it's interesting. I'm curious what they're gonna have. I know I'll definitely watch it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm curious kind of what they're gonna have in there. But yeah, I would love to see the episodes of them just have explaining to customers, okay, well, there were late fees, but now there aren't, but it goes like this. But then I want them to now get rid of the no late fee thing and bring back late fees, because that was really fun having to explain that to people.
Yeah,
Well,
right.
why can't I keep this for the 7 days like I normally do? Okay, well, there used to be no late fees, but now there are late fees. But the benefit is it doesn't get charged to your account.
Yeah, it just stays.
It's
it
just
stays
$1
on there.
a day.
Dude, they were so mad. It's so many different things. I think I'm going to be more critical of the show, though, because I will watch it and anything that's out of place, or I'm like, no, that never happened.
100%.
So it might ruin it for me. So if you are listening, you were a Blockbuster employee as well, you might watch this and be like, you know what? That's not how that worked.
But that's hard because, like, it's the last Blockbuster, so things could have changed.
Oh, sure. Right. That's
so it
true.
really just depends on how.
Are they still
dated it
running with that last Blockbuster in Bend, Oregon? Are they still running it as the Blockbuster was before? Like, I know people go in as tourists, but can you actually go in and rent a movie if you want?
Yeah,
I think so.
That's rad. But imagine being a tourist. Why would you rent a movie?
that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a destination. It's not.
It's got to be
couldn't-
just merchandise
couldn't
sales.
thrive on its own.
I think I'm gonna be looking for the Blockbuster isms. So like the purple and the gold like print on the inside of everything, and like the black and white actors' faces on the like towards the ceiling. Like I want
Oh,
the
you mean
trailer.
on the walls?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want like the little tiny movie. I want like the little tiny TVs with the trailer running all day. Like I want that stuff.
You guys remember the genre stickers? They were on the bottom.
Yeah.
So it's not about that, but it got me thinking. You remember every single Blockbuster store had like a fastest gun in the West employee that could like organize alpha. Like they'd grab a stack of like 30 movies and they'd go A to F in like 10 seconds. They'd just be like boom, 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 and then move them out.
I mean, that was me, but go ahead.
Yeah, that was me.
Correction. It was me.
It's funny because I still to this day, and I don't know if you guys are the same as me, but I organize that way. If I have like movies or whatever, I'll put them on the stack of floor, put them up against a hard surface, and then move them around to alpha them.
It's skills you learn for life.
Yeah, dude, those are your like learned traits through trauma.
What's funny is I wish that it did something for us, but no, you can't put that on the resume. No one will care.
Yeah, right. Obsessive alphabetizing.
I can alphabetize these movies real fast for you, sir.
Able to
And then pick
scan
them all up at the
1,000
same time.
movies in 3 hours.
Stack them. Do you guys think that they'll do like a late night inventory?
I don't think so.
Oh my God.
I mean, because
I
you know
hope-
that was like crazy.
Yeah, but how entertaining is that to watch?
Well, I mean, you're really tired, but that's about it. What about a gumball machine? Wait, did not all of our stores have gumball machines?
I think we had
We
one, but
did.
it was empty. Like, I don't think ours ever worked.
Employees would never empty the gumball machines.
The
You would go
quarters?
pull out the tray in the back and it's just overflowing
Yep.
with quarters.
There used to be a guy at the North Marysville Blockbuster.
He would steal them.
He would steal them. He would
Yeah.
reach back there because they would all fall down. He would steal it, pop a new one in, and then take a gumball. And I was like, dude, you can't do that. And he's like, what's your problem? The last manager didn't care. And I was like, all right, cool. You're going to be that guy.
And that's why they got fired.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a lot like when a lawyer watches Law and Order or like a forensic scientist watches CSI and they're like, I can't. It's just so inaccurate.
Yep, I can see that happening.
Well, and I think that's why I think that the show is going to be a lot more. The Blockbuster aspect is going to just be the novelty location.
Exactly.
I think it's not really going to have much to do with Blockbuster.
So it could, though, when you talk about location, it could be about the culture of people going to Blockbuster, though. So like a group of friends stoked. It's Friday night. We're rolling there. And then something funny happens once they get there.
Can I say something though? Like,
What?
does this show coming out mean that people still want movie rental stores?
People still want brick and mortar stores. Like, it's not just the movie rental, but that nostalgia matters. And I think it matters, honestly, guys, to like the 25 to like 45-year-olds.
Well, it's
people
gotta.
in that specific era is like, that was the best days of my life. I want that again. I don't like this Amazon only, streaming only, that type of stuff. But it could end up coming and flopping because people are like, we don't really care.
I hope not. Because I'm looking
Well,
at
I
the
just
pictures
think
and I have
it's-
like a permagrin. Like,
I just think it's funny that it's a TV show about a physical brick and mortar movie rental store on a streaming platform. Like,
That is so that is awesome. That's
Like-
awesome. Well, okay, let's talk about this side of things, okay? Netflix right now. Like, who is the asshole that's like, you know what we should do? Let's fucking... You remember when Blockbuster thought they'd take us out?
remember when we took them out?
Not only did we already hurt their feelings, let's make a show about us hurting their feelings. Like...
well, I mean, come on. I mean, Netflix has got to have some say in what they want, right?
Yeah.
So you're going to tell me that Netflix is going to produce a Blockbuster show and they're not going to make a dig about it?
Oh, there's got to
they
be
will.
so many where
they're
it's like...
absolutely going to have to be like,
Yep.
thank God that deal didn't work out.
Oh,
like,
I guarantee you, I bet there's a joke per episode, if not multiple times, that talks about how Netflix is better than Blockbuster.
there's going to have to be
Yeah.
at least one.
Yep, absolutely. Because you're
And
not
they're
going to
gonna-
self-deprecate on Netflix. Like
No,
they won't,
I mean,
Right.
yeah, they won't let them
like a
make
mad
fun of
customer.
Netflix. Yeah,
Like, they're like, well, I'm just going to go rare on Netflix.
right.
Well, then, I mean, I wonder if they're going to make a dig at Blockbuster starting their own online rental program.
Oh, which was terrible. It was not as good.
the Blockbuster online. Well, at first it worked.
Yeah, it was okay.
Because it was a good ass deal. Because for
Right.
what, $10 or $15 a month,
Yeah.
you could rent something online, get it delivered to your house,
Yeah.
watch it, and then bring the mailer to the store.
Yeah, because you're right.
Yeah,
Once there was brick and
get
mortar.
a free rental
Yep.
to watch
Get a free
while
rental.
you wait for it, and then it triggers your next online rental to
Yep.
come. It was great.
Honestly, that was a good program. Like,
Yeah.
even if you paid like $15 a month for it, it wasn't bad.
Right, that's true.
But then they would start limiting stuff, and it was, it's only free if it's like an old movie.
Yeah, it's only Mondays,
yeah.
Wednesdays, and Fridays at before
Yeah.
2:00. Yeah.
I'm curious if they are going to talk about how, well, maybe it won't matter now that if they're going to go with the storyline that it's the only Blockbuster left, if
Right.
that's where they're going to go, then they won't really have to deal with the corporate aspect. Because if they're going to focus on it being like a small business,
Yeah.
they won't have the corporate aspect. And that was one of the hardest parts for me because it was like what felt like every day policies were changing.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
sure. Right.
That was frustrating because it's also hard to explain to your team, like, hey guys, I know we already talked yesterday about this, but it changed
Right.
again.
yeah.
So you know how you just told all of your customers what the policy was? Now you have
Yeah.
to tell all your customers what the new
But they're
policy
going to be
is.
mad. That's what we pay you for, to correct that. Thank you.
Well, and that was especially at the last bit, it was very much like, okay, so things are changing. It's going to be this now.
Yeah.
It was just that over and over and over again, and it was exhausting.
Well, it's hard when a business is failing, they are grasping at straws. And the first thing that they do is they blame their employees for not working hard enough. You know, when really it's like, no, your formula doesn't work anymore. Like, you must change it. It just, that's not going to happen. So I think with them eliminating, like, you know, a district manager's not going to walk in now and make your ass pucker because your store's not perfect in the show, right?
I don't think they would show that aspect of it.
Right.
I think that even in a show, I'm sorry to bring it back to this, but even a show like Superstore, which
Yeah.
is same idea, but corporate's intertwined in it. You know, corporate comes in and like they're a little scared because it's corporate, but corporate doesn't come and scream at them and tell them
Right.
that like they're failures,
Yeah.
threaten to fire them in front of customers, like all this stuff. Like corporate doesn't do that.
No, if they did that, the show would then be a drama/horror.
Yeah, like
Like
honestly,
if we could portray Ashley's like last days of Blockbuster, it would
You
be a
mean-
horror film.
You mean when I went to the back of the store, and I don't mean the office, I mean like just the back of the store, and sat on the floor and cried?
yeah, in a fetal position, just like And the district manager looks at you and is like, that's just a defense mechanism.
Tears are weakness.
Fucker.
Well, I mean, the thing is, like, and it's unfortunate, but it's like, with all these social media things now and people putting on blast like their employers who treated them like shit. Like, if that shit was happening now, it would be a completely different scenario.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, yeah. No, you couldn't do it now. And someone would record it on TikTok or whatever. And literally recording one of those conversations that we had with some of our district managers. Ooh, that wouldn't fly now at all. No, not at all. Not at all. So,
I mean, there'd also be more cameras to get us in trouble for the shit that we did. But
That's fair.
Yeah, but at the same time, man, back in the day, our cameras were on, one VHS tape, which you couldn't see hardly any of the areas. If somebody stole something, you couldn't tell if it was a man, woman, or child.
No, it was our cameras were only focused on the employees.
Yeah.
Like, the cameras didn't give a shit about what happened in the store.
Right.
The cameras wanted to make sure the
employees.
employees weren't stealing from the till.
Well, to be fair, though, I'm assuming for most businesses, your employees are more of your theft problem than customers.
Well,
At
yeah,
almost
like internal
all corporate stores, yeah.
internal theft is a problem,
Yep.
and then external theft is figured into your budget, and usually, all that stuff. But no, I mean, they were always more concerned with what we were sliding them on.
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
I don't think that'll be part of the show.
No, I mean none of that.
Yeah,
I don't feel
definitely
like
not.
none of that behind the scenes stuff.
How many full throttles have you drank today?
Wait, is that
Is there
another
a
strawberry?
receipt on the outside of that?
Is that another strawberry shortcake ice cream in your hand?
These
Well,
are from
see, that's-
2009.
Everything's expired.
One guy's just still eating it.
That's awesome.
It's Andy.
Yeah, I am.
so-
I am. It would have been me. I am curious though. Like, are they going to do the classic candy stuff in that queue aisle? Are they gonna do the like holiday bundle stuff? Like, are we gonna see these nuances of things that we had to deal with back then? Or because we're so removed from knowing about the Bend, Oregon stuff, do they already do that? Like I don't know if the Blockbuster in Bend actually does like everything that Blockbuster used to do seasonally or not.
I don't know. I don't think so, because I think a lot of that was corporate driven, right?
Yeah.
Because like
Yeah.
corporate, somebody would put together a bundle, and we would have to sell the shit out of it.
Right.
I imagine that they make their own bundles and they sell them. But I think that from what I see pictures wise, it seems like they're trying to stick as close to the Blockbuster formula as possible, but in
right.
their own way. So the markup on soda and candy and stuff is so high, it only makes sense that they would sell it.
Oh, sure. No, that makes sense. Also,
but-
because they're not going to be making money from the corporate structure, being a small business, they must be marketing the shit out of everything that's Blockbuster related. Because right now I have a bunch of friends and they think Blockbuster is super cool because it's nostalgic and it's like when people wear a Tupac shirt now. It's like you throw on a Blockbuster shirt and you're like, oh yeah, man, this is vintage.
So instead of asking if you know 3 of their songs, you ask if you know 3 of their company policies.
I don't. Do you guys even remember 3 company policies from Blockbuster? Because I don't.
I don't know.
I don't remember anything that
Go
was
in the
like.
bathroom to cry.
You don't get a break or a lunch,
Oh yeah, managers cannot leave the store.
and you get no discount on anything.
Did we not get a discount? I
No,
thought we
we
got
did.
10% on new items. It was like crap.
10%.
Because we got free rentals.
I'll be honest, that's a really shitty deal. 10% only
Yeah,
on new
because
stuff.
we got free rentals.
Dumb.
10 of them.
Is that all we got? Was 10 rentals?
More than you can watch in a week.
I already forgot.
Because you're working 60 hours.
Well, as a manager, you didn't have
Yeah.
time to watch movies very often. That's for sure. Your employees did. They got to go home and watch
Oh, yeah,
the films.
the ones that got like 10 hours a week, they worked for their free rentals.
Wait, guys. Are they going to
Oh, yeah.
have that one employee that goes and eats popcorn and has no teeth? Are they going to do that?
That's a deep cut,
that
bro.
was only at your store.
I'm just like, can you please stop eating popcorn and turning around and handing your buttery fingered movies to the people? That's disgusting.
I do hope that they have like the movie rental store tropes, like the employees. Like,
oh yeah,
there's the alternative one who watches all the horror movies. There's the one who's really into like not video games, but like the sports game guy.
Oh sure, yeah.
There's gonna be the person who's like, oh, this is the funniest movie I've ever seen.
Yeah, everything's goofy.
And then
you gotta have the avant-garde person too that knows all the indie films.
Yeah, and then there's like, and then there's gonna be like the single mom or like the mom who's got kids, who's just like
read every 50 Shades of Grey book.
Yes, who couldn't wait for Twilight to come out. Like I want those.
God damn it. Yes.
Yeah.
The 40-year-old virgin that like
Has a side hustle.
yeah, has a side hustle.
Yeah.
Do you think that's awesome? Do you think at least when at my store, I don't remember if the employees had relationships. Did your guys' employees have relationships? Like, did you have people under you that were dating? Because I don't recall me ever having any employees that were together or got together under. At Best Buy, that was very different. There was people that were dating all the time, but Blockbuster was smaller. So
you weren't allowed to work in the same store because you and I weren't.
Well, yeah, but we were together before we started at Blockbuster. I mean, like people that became a couple because of Blockbuster. Like, did you guys have people that had relationships because they worked together? Do you remember?
I don't think so.
I don't think we did.
No.
I remember Trey really wanted to date Kate.
Yeah,
but she wasn't into it.
No, she wasn't into it.
I think that's what it was. I was gonna say I think there was always like somebody who was into somebody else, but they weren't.
Yeah, that's fair. Into it, but not into it. So I guess
trying to think.
I guess at the end,
I know.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Go ahead, man. No, you're fine.
I
want to say something.
That sometimes like employees would end up going out with customers.
Oh, that's where those movies went.
Well, and I know that someone that Ashley and I used to work with is now married to or involved with a customer that we used to know that would come in all the time.
What?
I'll tell you later.
You're going to have to tell it off podcast.
Yeah.
Secrets.
I think, didn't I go out with somebody once who came in?
Was it that guy who was like, Lady in Red?
Oh, that was the sheriff. That's what we called. Oh, and this is what I hope they have too, is the regulars have nicknames.
Yes.
Oh, 100%.
Because so there was this guy who used to come in, and he would come in like a jean jacket, tuxedo, cowboy boots, and I kind of slow. I'm sorry.
Okay.
And he would talk with like a southern accent, but like his dad was like, we're from here. Like, I don't know
what is happening.
And he would always like tip his cowboy hat to me and be like, you know, like, good night, little lady. And then like it would leave. And then he would always ask me like what I was doing after work. And he would always be like, where's Amanda? Is Amanda here? And then he would just like talk to me. And I kind of think he just like thought it was funny that I thought he was a weirdo.
Yeah.
And like he was harmless. He was very nice. But like he was just kind of a weirdo. And then one day we were going out or something and I had a red pea coat on. And he was like, wow, that looks really nice on you. And I was like, oh, thanks. And then he starts singing Lady in Red.
That's
and like,
awesome.
like the whole song.
Oh, that's rad.
And with with like a country accent.
Amanda, he loved you.
He might have.
Loved you.
Maybe I made big mistakes in my life.
You could.
I don't know where he is now.
Look what you could have had.
Weird Blockbuster guy.
I had an employee that had a new accent every week, and then when you called her out on it, she would say, "What are you talking about? I always talk like this." Mm-hmm. It was very awkward.
I really
Sounds
hope on
about right.
On the show that they have an employee who's like frantically typing in notes into the customer's account when they're like bitching at him.
And then you can read those notes.
Yeah, and then I hope that there's like I hope that when they pull up people's accounts, like it's like flashing at them on the screen.
You
like,
have to take a moment
the
to
whole
read the
thing of
long
notes.
paragraph
Yes.
of what happened last time they came in.
All it
Yes.
says is like shithead. That's all it says on there.
No,
I remember my boss was like, you cannot put that stuff on there because it will print out on their receipt
They
sometime.
can request it from corporate.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Some of the people who worked with us would be like, was incredibly rude to me at this day for this, blah, 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 blah.
Yep.
And it would be like, damn, dude, that's a novel.
Yeah, that's a lot. And they would be like, what's wrong? Can I have my movie? I'm sorry, I'm just reading for a second. And they're like, what are you reading? Please.
Yeah.
And then they'd come around the computer screen. Sometimes you'd be like, have to like exit out real fast. Oh, that's awesome. So are you guys excited for the show? Do you care? What do you think this even needed to be made? What do you guys think?
I don't know if it was something that needed to be made.
Yeah.
But I'll watch it.
Yeah.
I think I'll watch it more just to see what I recognize.
Yeah, me too. I just want to, I want to take a trip back through memory lane. Even if that's
Yeah.
me just watching the background of every scene. For sure. I'll watch it. You said it comes out in November?
November 3rd.
So, guys, we are not sponsored at all by Netflix, but...
Or Blockbuster.
Or Blockbuster.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know if Blockbuster still has rights to anything outside of the United States. Because remember, they were international in certain areas. So I don't know if Blockbuster still... Because at one point, they were still running a website and liquidating stuff. And so I don't know at this point. But obviously,
know that-
Netflix has rights to it. So...
I think they still have a Twitter account. Like,
Oh,
I think
geez.
that's it.
It's like, well, oh, wait. Actually, isn't that the Blockbuster in Bend, though, that has that Twitter account?
I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. I'll watch it. Guys, if you're listening, tell us, are you interested in the Blockbuster show that's coming out? Is this something that you find funny? Do you even relate to rental stores? Or are you like, dude, that's so far old and busted, there's no reason to have a show like this anymore? Because, I don't know.
We should get Blockbuster
See,
tattoos. Just saying.
I miss going and like just browsing the cases. Like,
Yeah.
it's not the same on digital media. It's not like
No.
Nope.
You need
I
to
like
look at that cover.
You got to look it up and read it and look at the back and
Yep.
read what it's about.
And then accidentally rent Pirates when it's not Pirates.
Even Target, I think you said Target is eliminating DVD.
Yeah, Target's getting
DVDs
rid
in
of a
their
lot of their
stores.
DVDs now. Yep.
Sad.
Yep. So eventually, guys, there won't even be physical media to go buy anymore. It'll have to be a niche thing, and it'll be limited run production. So just like video games, right now they're doing limited run and premium games and something edition. I forget what it's called, but basically what it is games that are only digital getting physical releases, and this will soon be movies.
Well, I'll
And
I'll go
so-
rent an empty case with a code inside. Bring it back.
there-
Just want to look at it.
Yeah, it's interesting to me because like I feel like it's easier for me to find like a kids movie on DVD
Yeah.
than it is for me to find like a mainstream blockbuster.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know because I feel like I'll go and I'll check out the areas and obviously they have new releases and stuff, but I feel like I see more like kids movies. So I don't know if that's just me
mean on
paying more
DVD?
attention to kids movies now.
Well, yeah, and I don't know why, because a kid out of anybody is going to destroy a physical media more than anything else. So you would
Yeah.
think that should be streaming, and then adults that can really take care of their stuff should get physical media.
It all just comes down to we're just too lazy to get up and put the disc in.
Yep. Because nobody
Yeah.
wants that experience. But vinyl had a resurgence because people loved the feel of a record, the sound of a record, having the experience of putting it on, hitting that needle, like powering it on, having to get up to flip the side. Like it was all an experience. And all of a sudden VHSs are having a resurgence. People like buying those. They like looking at the artwork. They like putting the tape in. So I'm just saying that maybe this show might hit because people are starting to want that again.
There's a want for it.
Yep.
We'll see.
Blockbuster.
Yeah.
We'll see if there's a season 2.
Maybe we'll get on
Blockbuster
it.
Video.
We're out of business.
Guys, where can people find us if they want to talk to us about Blockbuster?
Do I have to answer that? You said guys. I mean, I don't.
Oh, sorry. Amanda, because Ash never does the outro.
Okay, so here's the deal. Go to our Instagram at realawkwardpodcast.com. You can go there and you can chat with us. You can slide into our DMs. We also have a Patreon for $3 a month that gets you exclusive episodes, and maybe you get a sticker in the mail. I don't know. And that's the deal.
At realawkwardpodcast.com. I don't think anyone will find that. Amanda, what is it actually called?
Our Instagram, it's just at Real Awkward Podcast. And our Patreon is patreon.com/Real Awkward Podcast.
Guys, look up realawkward.com and tell us what you find. We'd like to know.
Who knows? Because it's not ours.
Excellent. All right, guys, your old Blockbuster team is out. Thank you guys for listening. You will catch us on the next fantastic episode of the Real Awkward Podcast.
Yeah, now that the other manager's here, I'm on a clock out. Bye-bye.
I gotta go. Bye.